Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Victoria here again. That's what I'm putting on, this bucket hat that I made, and I want to show you how I made it. I used a chunky knitting machine. It's a chunky product, and I'll be using this chunky knitting thread. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, the usual one that I always use, a robin. It's 100% acrylic, and to keep you warm as well as away from the sun. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment and share, and it will be good. Let's get into the tutorial. Thank you. So I tried to write down this pattern that you can easily follow for this particular bucket hat. You'll need to cast on 85 rows, that is 42, 43 on your needle bed. You pull them all at once, and then you knit 14 rows just like I did here. You knit 14 rows, you make a picot, and then you knit another 14 rows working in tension 8. If you can't make a picot, you can just increase it to tension 10, and you knit only one row for it to be a folding or hem, and then after a folding line, and then after you hem as I did here. So after that you can knit. We are going to knit up to 21 rows, if you can look at this, up to 21 rows, and then we start creating these designs by making transfers. So you can follow on and see how you can make this bucket hat. Pulling out 42, 43 needles all at once. Pardon me on that background sound because it's in my neighborhood and I can't do away with it. My neighbors are trying to, they are advertising their businesses, and it's hard to do away with it given that I record with my phone and edit with my phone. So kindly bear with me. As long as you can listen and hear what I'm saying, well, it will be good to go. So you pull out all your needles, and then you cast on using the Arab method, the way I'm doing. I'm using a chunky machine, so in case you don't have a chunky machine, I'm sorry, you can try it out. I don't know, I've not tried it out on the smaller machine, because it looks better with this chunky machine. Yeah. So go on ahead and cast on the 85 stitches on each and every needle. We are working in tension 8. So after your casting on, make sure that your tension is in 8 and your counter is reading 0, 0, 0. So after that, I'm going to knit 14 rows straight. The start is a bit hard and I have to struggle with the machine, but that is it. So at this point I will hang my starting form firmly and knit 14 rows. So making a picot is transferring one stitch to the next, like how I did with the mermaid's cut. So you transfer one stitch to its neighbor. So after, I make sure I pull back all the needles before you pass your carriage. And you continue knitting. You knit the 14 rows. Now I can take off that. So you're going to join the hem. This is by picking up these stitches and putting them back onto the needles, each and every needle. We are going to knit 21 rows. Sorry, I'll first knit 1 row and join the hem. Then in tension 6, I'll knit 21 rows, taking back your row counter to 0, 0. This is 21, however, I'm going to knit up to 25, given my type of thread, so I'll add on 4 more rows. So that is 25, it makes it more longer. So at this point we are going to count the 11th needle and then transfer it to the next. Count 11, transfer to the next, up to the other, but make sure we cover up that hole again. Let me show you how to do it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll transfer this one to this, but I have to cover up the hole, so I'll go back and pick up these stitches. It's quite a long process. We are going to do this transferring after reducing 11 needles. We are going to reduce the 10th to the next, then the 9th to the next, up to when we have 15 needles remaining on the bead. So after doing that, so this is where I transferred the 11th needle. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I pick this 11th needle, I transfer it to the next, then I cover up that gap. This is an easier process that I learned when I was making this first hat, because if you decide to transfer all at once, it will be hard for you to pull back each and every needle. It's quite tiresome. So I hope you can see that. I'll keep transferring to cover up this hole. I think it was a bit tiresome to first pull out all the needles, or first transferring all the needles at once, and then you have to cover up the gap. It takes more time, so I realized this method is much faster when you go one by one. Like, just have to identify where your last 11th needle was, where you last did a transfer. And I was identifying that by seeing the transferred stitch. It's where I start my count from. So you can do that, it is easier. Or in case you have any other easier method, you can share with me in the comment section below. So according to my previous count, this is where the 2 stitches are. So I'm going to count from here, the 10th stitch, the 11th, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll pick up this 11, I transfer it to the next, then cover up the gap. I'm done. The remaining needles are 8. I can't do any transfers. So what, after doing all the transfers, you need 2 rows. And then now we are going to do a transfer from the 10th needle. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I transfer it to this. So I'll go on and do that. So you'll do all those reductions until you have 15 needles remaining on your bed. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll come back when I have those 15 needles remaining, and we see how to finish up. All right. So I've reached this point where I have 15 needles remaining: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So I'll knit one row. I'll increase to tension 8 and knit one row, then cut off and leave a long tail. It's like this. So I'm going to cast off and then join the hat together. So see, the hat has already taken its shape. Now what I'm going to do is just join this edge, the seam side, and the bucket hat will be as ready as it has been made. This is the effect of the transfers that we've been doing, forming the crown. So go on ahead and join, and you'll knit when the cap is done, when the hat is done. And the bucket hat is done. Just like that. So please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.